Right, well, that's done. Nice. Uh, this is my little shop switcher. Very cute little thing. But we're not focusing on that today. We're instead focusing on the gondola car back here, because I am going to be doing something a little different once again, and I'm going to be showing you how to build one of these, because rolling stock is also important. So, first off, just a little info about this actually. It's a very simple little model, very short, shouldn't take very long to recreate, but basically it is like, how long is this thing even? I forgot actually, it's been so long. It is 17 blocks, cool. But it's a very practical thing. You've got these little ladders to hang on to, these little footholds to hang on to. You've also got these controls on either end, so you can easily operate it between yards, or in a yard if you have to switch it out a little bit. You've got a total of 18 vaults, which hold a total of 360 stacks for 23,040 items. You've also got access to all of these portable storage interfaces. You've got 3 on every side, so that includes top, that includes the bottom down here, which you can't really see, but also on both sides. So it's a very versatile loading mechanism, right? So as well, on these little arrows, you've got your left, top, down, and right, of which that designates where it can be unloaded from. So, of course, we have our left, our top, and below here we've got our down, and then we've got our right as well. So, yeah. And of course, we've got it under the Bonetown system name, because, Railroad. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started on the thing. So basically, you're going to want to put down your station, hit create new train. We're going to grab specifically the freight bogies from Steam and Rails. So we're going to go scroll down to double axles and hit freight. And there's that. And you're going to go exactly about, I think it was like about 9 blocks is what it was. Yeah. So these bogies are exactly 9 blocks apart. The blocks are 11 blocks if you want to be specific. But yes. Alright, then we get to do our vaults and our storage interfaces. So we're going to place vault interface facing down, and we're also going to place these on either side as well. And I believe these go on the top. No, the top ones are different. Sorry. We're going to place the top one right here. Yep, there we go. And then this goes on top of the bogey as well, but we're going to rotate it so it faces down. Alright, then we could do vault, 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 interface, vault, 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 interface, and then vault. And then more interfaces on every side. Nice. As well, we have some controls to place. So we've got controller, controller. Again, that is for practicality reasons. And then we're also going to grab a knuckle coupler and place that on either controller over here. And next we're going to grab our bogies. So we're going to do a basin, some diagonal metal supports, some bar panels, and some industrial iron trapdoors. So we're going to do basin in the middle, metal supports, bar panel, trapdoor, basin. Metal support, bar panel, trapdoor. Basin, metal support, bar panel, trapdoor. Boop, 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 boop. So basically you're taking that tiny simple little setup and repeating that 4 times. One thing I will also say is that this thing is meant to be as simple as possible, and as cheap as possible ideally. So sometimes you can also replace these, like the more industrial iron heavy bits, with something more cheap. Like for example, you could just do a copycat trapdoor with like some gray loco metal inside or something. That would also work really well. But here, we're also going to go ahead and do the front and the back, of which constitutes a gray loco metal end ladder, a slice, a corner slice, a bracket with an upward facing step, and yeah, that's all you need. So I'm going to grab my ladder, put that right down there. We're going to place the slices as such. Specifically, we're placing one on the front of this block, to the side of this block, and then to the side of this block. And of course, we're placing the corners as well. And then below that, we're placing these steps, these little footholds, which make it a lot easier to operate. And we're doing the same thing, but we're mirroring it on this side. Or sorry, we're not mirroring it, or rotating it. My bad. Step, step, boop, 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 and then placing the corner right there. And there we go. Now, as well, we're going to need to place, let me just think about this. We need to place this here, I believe, and up these slices, but we're going to delete the industrial iron inside them. Up, up, delete, delete. Okay. Yes, that is accurate. Good. Alright, next we get to grab our Sugi planks, or our Sugi wood, rather. We're going to grab these copycat layers as well with these Sugi stripped logs inside. Now, Sugi I'm using specifically because it looks the most like any... Let me see what's behind these, actually. Okay, gotcha. But Sugi I'm using specifically because it looks the most like any any rail car wood you would see, or any like material, or any color rather. Like, yeah, that is like really the main thing here. Is just like the brown color is very nice and it looks exactly how you would expect a rail car to look. That is what is very nice about it. That's what I like. You could also use oak wood, you could use spruce wood, you could replace this with really any wood type or whatever suits your personal taste. But here I'm just recreating what I would like to recreate. So we are going to need some slabs in between each of these interfaces here. And as well for the top, we are just essentially alternating, except for the ends, Sugi planks, and then upward-facing stripped Sugi logs. And of course we have to place these layers over the top of these logs as well to give it a little bit more depth. And then copycats, we're going to need planks under the planks, and we need the stripped Sugi logs under the stripped Sugi logs. But because these also jut outward a little bit by a layer, we're going to add some stacked half layers under these to fully encapsulate that. There we go. Do 1, 2, 3, and go and do our slabs under here. 3, break that. Sugi log, what was it? Half layer, half layer. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And now we get to do the top rim, I believe. But first we're actually going to do these slices, because I feel like that'd be a little bit easier of a detail. But we're going to place the slices over the bogies over here as such. And then while we're over here, we're also going to replace these with Sugi planks. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to place Sugi planks in there, and then that's already done. Perfect. I'm also going to grab some copycat stairs, and we're going to grab one of our signs here. But basically this here is so you have access to the controls while you are maneuvering the train, because otherwise if you just place a block here, it makes it slightly harder to grab. And then here we're going to grab our other ladder and place that right there. I'm going to do the sign on top of there, and you can do whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and do my Bone Town system name. I'm going to grab some dies, just so that it is properly visible. Boop, boom. Nice. We're going to control click and copy that. Place our upside down stair with our vertical Sugi stripped log inside. Sign over that as well. Ladder over that. We did forget to do a slice on top of this slice over here, so we're going to do a vertical slice with strip sugi planks, or not strip sugi planks, just sugi planks. Okay, there's that. We're also going to go ahead and grab this sign over here, which is going to be specifically between these two. And that's going to be your system name, or your railroad name, your arrows, and then because this is going to hold 18 volts, you're going to write down 18 volts. And because 18 times 20 is 320 or 360, then that's what it is, because each vault holds 20 stacks, or 20 slots worth of items. And then, of course, those stacks accumulate to 64 items each, so that's 23,040 items. So we've got about 1, 2, 3, okay, 6, 7, 8 volts. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for a total of 18. But we are going to skip out on the middle here, so we can place our other interface. And there we go. And now we get to do the top border. So to do that, we're going to need some copycat stacked half layers and some corner slices and some slices. So we're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and these are all going to go up to about layer 2. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Come on. It would be easier as well to just place some temporary blocks and then remove those after, actually. So that's what we're going to do here. All right. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Corner, 1, 2, 1, 2. Actually, no. Sorry. These are going to be our half layers, which are going to go out to layer 2 as well. These are going to have sideways stripped sugi logs inside. 1, 2. And 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Alright. And then strip sugi logs. And there we are. And now we get to break all of this. Now, our gondola is practically complete, aside from these little placards. Of course, with our hilarious BS system tag. This specifically for the bullshit, sorry, Bonetown system. Yeah. So, our gondola is essentially complete. It is open, and now I'm going to show you how to do two different variants here. Now, what I've done here is I've created essentially just a tarp design, so you can't see what is inside, so therefore you can kind of just use these for whatever material you need to. So you can put like sand, coal, cobblestone, whatever the fuck, in these, and then you won't be able to just see an empty car that is also full of items, right? Because seeing this and then seeing the vaults and being like, why build the shell around it is a thing that happens. So basically, having a tarp cover the open top makes it look like there is a load, but it doesn't tell you what the load is exactly. So all we need to do for this is grab some copycat half layers. Specifically, I'm just using a Scorchia here because it's green. And you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go ahead and grab copycat layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to grab more copycat half layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've essentially got just layered Scorchia, and then these are all, of course, Scorchia pillars. But these are facing horizontally, and then these are facing vertically. And then we're just basically going to grab that and then copy that across the entire way. So copy and paste, 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 paste. Do. Probably a more efficient way of doing this, but I don't care. Deselect. Alright. But because we've also covered up our portable storage interfaces, we have to then go and reduce these by one size and remove these blocks. Same for in the middle right here. And then over here. And there we go. Then we're going to grab these Scorchia locomotive smoke boxes. Of course, you can use whatever material you want. And then we're also going to grab these copycat trapdoors, which look more like ports, which is kind of cool. We're basically going to have these face um, just like sideways, essentially. So break, break, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, break, break, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Break, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. That's how you do that, right? But if you'd like to not do that, you can also just add a load in here, of which that is very easy, because all I'm going to do here is set air, and we're going to do slash kill at e square bracket type equals item square bracket, so that way you delete the items on the ground so you don't cause more lag. But we're going to do a similar thing where we add copycat trapdoors over the slots so you can still see where they're meant to be. But we're instead going to fill this with copycat layers. So copycat layer, there we go. But basically we're going to do what we usually do for our coal beds and, or not coal, or yeah, for our coal beds, that's true, and just spam layers. So that's not right, sorry. I just happened to grab this layer. Again, placing these at complete random, and you can just go through and do one final little pass, and there you go. Now you do kind of want to make sure they're at least a little bit even, so if you get some really tall ones, kind of just axe those down a little bit. And yeah, that looks like a more or less full load. And so you could just leave that blank as well. That's another way to represent, like, oh, this could be anything in here. But you could also go ahead and actually, we're going to open the trapdoors to highlight them, just add a load. So we're going to grab some sand, and we're going to grab some suspicious sand, because that looks nice. And we're going to grab some desert sand, just to mix it in. We're going to grab some soft sand, and then we're going to throw in some smooth sandstone as well, just to give it some texture. So we're going to do just randomly placing these throughout in no particular order. I'm going to place some suspicious sand, of which you can't actually do that in copycats. I didn't know that. Interesting. We're going to grab our desert sand and soft sand, which are both from chipped. But these give it some color variation, so it looks like, oh, maybe the sand got a little bit wet. Oh no. Place our soft sand, and then throw in some smooth sandstone. We got a gondola full of sand. And now what we can do is place something definitive in our trap doors. So we're going to place some birch logs, specifically some vertical stripped ones. So that way, like, there is a block to identify them, but the block itself isn't inherently obvious and does actually mesh with the colors of the load itself. So that's how I would do a sand load. If you want to do a ballast or gravel load, typically my mixture is just cobblestone, stone, andesite, and gravel. But of course, I'm sure among the mods that you do have installed, you can find something to your liking. You can also do a mix of scrap metal, of which, if you have, which I don't recommend, if you do have, what was that one mod called? Advanced weathering, or immersive weathering rather. If you have that installed, you can do a bunch of rusty iron pieces and throw those in as like scrap metal. So I don't think I have anything rusty in here. I don't think I have any weathered iron at all. No, nothing weathered, unfortunately. But that's okay. But yeah, that is my basic gondola design. I likely do like a boxcar or a tanker car in the future as well. But just know as well that this wood is basically interchangeable with any other wood in the game or in any other mod, pretty much. So you can just replace that with whatever you want. It's pretty cool. And then I may also do a tutorial on how to make an unloading device or loading device for this at some point. There's a lot coming. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon. Bye.